Long ago, two naive fools stumbled upon a device in the woods, bound in human flesh and powered with human blood. Every full moon, the two fools power the device up and ask its AI interface to tell them a tale based on the audience's selections. That's right. Tonight's events are influenced by you. Who knows what horrors we will encounter today as we witness Hellbent and Bry's Ghost Loads!
Good evening!
Get ready for a scary day!
I am ready to learn from the occult. I'm ready to learn about terror. My iPad is haunted by a computer spirit.
As is mine. And if you're not careful, you just might learn something.
You just might learn something. By the
Today
way, ghoulie crowd out there, we see Sugar Bitch, Fleur, Toxic Hell, Matthias, Honor Friend, Burble Drink, Circle of Protection on Cobalt, and Big T. Get out your salt, get out your garlic, your dream catchers and crosses. Because it's ghost time. Now, first and foremost, I brought Brian with me.
Howdy.
He's here. The ghost is here, but he's just kind of around. So you just... I mean, he might show up, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
He likes the computer more than anything else. It's kind of like a creepypasta.
You know when you give your kid the iPad, he just wants the iPad. He communicates.
We're drawn to the light.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask the ghost questions. You guys are welcome to ask questions of the ghost's mysterious tales, and he's gonna tell us a thing or two about a thing or two and spin us a little yarn. Do you want to talk to him first?
Yes.
Whoa!
Oh, words are appearing. Well, what's this? Where are those words coming from? Do you see them?
Oh, that's... Oh no! The ghost told a tale of Bigfoot fighting the underworld. It had been 3 years since it last spoke to any living creature, and now one called Mr. D approached with his questions. Oh, am I supposed to keep reading, or do you want to switch off?
I could do Mr. D, hold on.
I just thought we'd switch on paragraphs.
Well, the ghost can't provide audio, so we can switch off on paragraphs. Do a voice then. Read it.
Hang on. And so you say that this monster is real. I have seen many strange things on the net lately.
Mr. D asked in his typical monotone voice. His avatar looked like an old man wearing a black fedora hat, white shirt, and a tie under a red jacket and blue jeans. He was always dressed as if he lived back when they were still using typewriters instead of computers. And perhaps even before that. The only thing remotely futuristic about him was his eyes, which glowed green from behind tinted glasses. His hair also changed color depending on how light or dark the room was. Even though all the lights are off, there weren't any windows around for anyone to see into. What? Spirit? You're not making much sense, buddy.
Chill out, bro. Burble Drank is being very clear. It's not AI, it's ghosts.
Yeah, it's ethical.
This is ethical. We're using a human soul. Hi, Ooh. But that doesn't matter. This is a story about how Bigfoot took on the vampires of the underworld to save the forest. Bigfoot never attacks the forest. You ever notice that?
Because he already won.
That's a good point. You'll have to watch to find out what happened next. Or maybe you could come just join us on our adventure. We're going deep inside the world's most haunted places, including hell itself, not literally. You alright, Spirit? Who'd we get?
I don't know. I'm also getting a warning that my bitrate's too high, so I'm fixing that. Boom, fixed. Yay! We won't be knocked away from the spirit realm.
Okay.
So don't miss your chance at being part of something truly special. Join us today by clicking here. Be sure not to forget to subscribe so we can keep bringing you new stories every single week. And remember, no human has ever left alive a report telling them that they saw Bigfoot. Man, this spirit...
All right. So Spirit, here's how this works. When you type something in, you gotta type in, for instance, and remember no human has ever left a live report telling them that they saw Bigfoot. And now, Spirit, you have to add in something along the lines of, it all began on a Tuesday morning when Bigfoot woke up to get his cup of Morning Joe. Something like that, and then, I don't know, the other spirits build onto it. I don't even know whose spirit we're talking to. Chat, who are we talking to right now? Who is this? Actually, knowing who got out of jail recently, maybe that's who the spirit is.
It all began on a Tuesday morning when Bigfoot was picking berries for dinner. Then he was attacked by vampires. Spirit, I cannot be any more direct. They are creatures that feed on life force of humans, making their victims very weak after feeding upon them. That day, however, there were 6 hungry vamps who made it through the gates of hell, and they didn't intend to give up till they got some food. After seeing a bear 2 days ago, he thought eating them would be easy work. However, the bear claws were sharp enough to slice open his belly, leaving only scraps of meat from a few organs.
So Bigfoot's attacking the vampires now?
He decided he needed to get stronger before trying again. He ran away to heal himself when he came across an area where blood deer often visited. He found a large pool of water and drank it eagerly, hoping to gain strength fast.
All right, let me read the next part. Spirit, you need to hit enter to you can make a new paragraph. As he lay down in the coolness of the stream, he felt something touch his leg. Looking over, he realized it was a girl laying beside him in the water. Her skin shimmered as she turned her face towards him. "Father?" she asked. No. She smiled slightly, but then scowled when she noticed he wasn't quite dead yet. She pulled herself closer onto his leg. Spirit, we gotta have a talk. Spirit, delete the last couple rows.
Hey, Spirit, come on now.
It's a family program. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oopsie doodle. Spirit, get off me. There we go. Get off me, she yelled angrily. At first, he assumed she was dreaming. Then he remembered that... I'm being extra careful. Spirit's being not nice. Get off me, she yelled angrily. At first, he assumed he was dreaming. Then he remembered what he ate earlier. Something must have gotten stuck between his teeth. Before he knew it, he was laying outside in the field again, covered in wounds.
You know what, chat? If you want to contribute any part of this, the Spirit is willing to. We'll read some stuff out to the Spirit, and he can type it in for us.
Yeah, the spirit possesses all knowledge and power.
The Spirit can read the chat through our eyes. Burble, you are not incorrect. All right, chat, make us proud. Do you have any ideas of what happens? Which character do we want to get back to the vamps?
Yeah, do you want to influence the spirit? I got 8 spirit tokens. And they can make the demon do whatever we want. Tokens. Haunted Walmart parking lot. Okay.
As Bigfoot approached the Walmart parking lot, he started to notice an ungodly force. Spirits, he whispered. We gotta get the spirit like a gaming keyboard.
There you go. The demon
There
has
was
produced
nothing
something.
else. No sign of people or animals anywhere nearby. Nor did he hear anything other than his own footsteps. All he wanted was to go home and rest peacefully, but instead, he heard screams coming from somewhere near the front door.
Damn, it's getting juicy.
He quickly entered the building and followed the sounds of screaming to the basement. A woman stood within the darkness, shrieking frantically. When he entered the room, he found the cause. Jesus Christ! I'm not reading that.
Two men held onto each limb of the spirit. I gotta
the
be
rules
gone,
of man
foul
are,
spirit.
The rules of man do not concern you, spirit. They're set. Several
Okay.
men and women. No.
Go ahead.
Okay. They're set. Several men and women tied together with ropes, each bleeding profusely. Bigfoot recognized these beings as vampire. Oh, okay. Okay. Known mostly for sucking the energy from humans, turning them into zombies. He watched curiously as one vampire bit into another, repeatedly without hesitation, completely draining the victim of their life force.
Whoa.
Verbal drink. So the
This
spirit's
man
not...
isn't allowed within 300 yards of schools. No. People have been giving him bad
The spirit's
dreams?
been on some weird websites lately.
He's been haunting some weird people.
Living Lulu says I laughed and sneezed hard and it hurt.
Now I gotta scan these before I read them to make sure they're not pornography. Bad spirit.
Be gone!
Be gone!
Be gone!
Be gone,
Be
horny
gone,
spirit.
horny spirit! The spirit will... Wait.
Suddenly,
did we-
Bigfoot discovered why vampires are called such. One of the male figures screamed loudly while droplets of blood splashed onto the ground below. Bigfoot gasped quietly at the sight, wondering if the female vampire had bitten him too.
Firith is asking what website we go to. You can just type in a suggestion, we'll throw it in.
Yeah, it's novel AI, but not really. It's a spirit that's haunted
That's
novel
a
AI.
spirit that's on it.
Yeah, so yours isn't going to work the same as ours is because it's a spirit.
Yeah, you can suggest stuff. It's okay. We're here to talk to the
Actually, his name is
ghost.
Al.
The spirit of Al.
Do not fear my bite, good sir, the vampire said calmly in English. Bigfoot wondered who exactly this person was talking to, considering only a little time had passed since he started watching. I'm a lady, dearie.
Did Bigfoot say that he's a lady?
I think the person who said they could bite him is a lady.
Okay. Bree, yeah, I did the art for this. I'm really glad you dig it. I love old-timey comic book stuff.
Then
The Bigfoot
understood.
Oh, go ahead,
The
buddy.
screamer was actually speaking to him. Suddenly, he became more curious than afraid. Besides, the vampire seemed harmless enough, unlike normal vampires whose fangs were visible beneath the lips. They were usually stained red. This one wore makeup similar to the undead.
Donald says Bigfoot gets challenged by a moose.
Was he really
Wait,
able to
wait.
talk? How long had it been since someone had spoken to Bigfoot? The vampire continued. It seems you need help. Allow me to assist you? It occurred to Bigfoot that this might mean trouble if the others knew he was there. Especially the ones with a mouthful of needles.
Mouthful of needles.
Go ahead, you got it from here?
He couldn't afford to take a risk right now. Yes, please. The vampire laughed softly. Oh, I'm glad you agree. Come closer, let me look at you. Someone in the chat suggested a moose show up, Spirit. I'm A moose. A moose suddenly showed up. Exclamation mark. Nope. And started kicking everyone around like a soccer ball. Though the vampire gave no reaction to the attack except for looking annoyed, the zombie children fought hard against the beast, even biting its legs when they got close enough. Just when the small group looked certain to die, the giant black wolf appeared and ripped apart the entire pack of kids. Not wanting to waste any time, the wolf grabbed one of the corpses and took off immediately.
Bad!
Knock it
Bad!
off.
Let go!
Bigfoot could tell the vampire was still staring at him despite being busy fighting. Once the wolf returned carrying the corpse, the vampire stopped moving entirely.
It really wants Bigfoot to get bitten by this hot lady vampire. Demon, you got problems, man.
Sleepy Dog suggests Mike Tyson should appear in the woods. Woodsman says this may be more comedy than horror. I don't know, man. You don't come to Hellbent Streams to laugh and have a good time. You come here to be scared.
It's spooky.
I got
Mike
it.
Tyson, famous vampire slayer, appeared in the woods behind the Walmart just then, his eyes shining brightly. So there's a big guy out here too, huh? Let's see how strong you're gonna be. You wanna fight? He asked. Just as Mike spoke those words, Bigfoot finally figured it out. The creature who talked to him wasn't a real person at all. It was a spirit. Well, spirits don't have souls, so he's probably isn't gonna believe in God after tonight anyways.
Hellbent, we need to trade off at every paragraph, I think.
Okay. Do this
Without-
one and then we'll start tagging.
Yeah. You want me to take from here?
Go.
So what does that make him? Is he human? What happened to him? And most importantly, is he crazy or am I insane? Did this whole thing start because of me? These questions raced through his mind as he slowly walked towards the legendary fighter.
When Bigfoot reached his side, Mike stared intently into his face, searching for something. His expression remained blank until he saw something move under the surface of Bigfoot's skin. That's impossible, Mike thought.
Before anyone could say anything about it, though, Mike felt something pressing on his wrist. The second Bigfoot touched his arm. Mike fell down as if he'd fallen asleep standing upright, when in fact, he hadn't moved at all.
Two Bigfoots.
Two Bigfoots, guys.
He soon woke up and realized he didn't remember getting hit by a car or anything of the sort. For some reason, the world was spinning and everything hurt, but he didn't feel pain anymore.
After the battle came to an end, Mike walked away without saying a word. On top of everything, he had lost almost half his strength due to the loss of blood. It would require many days before he recovered enough to continue traveling alone. What battle?
Well, I don't know how we can even top that chilling tale.
Was that the end of the tale?
I think so.
That was like 10 minutes.
I'm trying to make this fit.
I know. That's always been your problem.
Eh.
You gotta do.
There we go. Spirit,
We need to
we need to get off the horny stuff.
go back to vampires. That was cool.
Anybody got any suggestions for this stupid horny robot? I mean, demon.
Beep boop.
Make Bigfoot. Okay, I'm just gonna type in. I mean, I'm gonna tell the demon to make Bigfoot a gooner and just see how it goes.
That's not how the spirit works, buddy.
Well, we're gonna find out.
There you go. Bistro says YouTube really cracking down on ad blockers. Look, I have an idea where the story could go.
I got no ads.
That's the worst part. Spirit changed the tale to make Bigfoot a gooner first and foremost. Make sure he gets a name, maybe Blind Man or Lone Wolf. Then add in the part where the man has to deal with a ghost, which can obviously pass itself off as a living human. And voila! Just put in a line, Bigfoot was no stranger to ad blocking software. I assure you this is...
Bigfoot was no stranger to ad blocking software. In his line of work, people tended to get suspicious of him when he walked into town alone, even in broad daylight. He would never wear shorts or shirts above the neckline unless he absolutely needed them to keep warm.
Bigfoot's dressed as Tommy Bahama. All right, add in just that the ad blockers had not relented. Bigfoot had to continue his fight. I mean, Spirit. The ad blockers had not retreated. Bigfoot had to continue his fight to save them. If he did not do this, mankind would lose their very soul to the devil himself.
And yet, as much as he tried to block every single advertisement website, he failed miserably. They found ways to bypass his defenses and made themselves known to him whenever he least expected it.
That's when Bigfoot got mad.
Yeah.
But there was one site which always eluded his attempts to eliminate it from his view. The internet porno site. There were several reasons why these particular websites stuck out among the rest, but one stood above all others. They provided Bigfoot with endless amounts. Never mind. I gotta.
Cool. Spirit, that's too spicy. Once the ads disappeared, Bigfoot.
His thoughts turned, finding relief from the
There you go. Fixed it. Once the ads disappeared, Bigfoot had noticed that his enjoyment of YouTube was far greater. He had spent hours watching videos before the ads. Now he watched video after video, even while doing other things. To avoid having to watch each and every video, he searched for clips tagged Bigfoot
vids in order to find someone such as himself. As a result, he became addicted to viewing these types of content. He wanted more of them. This resulted in one new problem, however. While he used to enjoy seeing naked women, now he enjoyed men. What's going on the internet? Which is totally fine, but not the point. But it's nothing to do with you. Wolfie goes, oh, he was gay. Oh, maybe Bigfoot should go back and try to stop those vampires. I don't know. Just a thought.
What? I'm trying. Look.
Okay. Are you reading from Which is Totally Fine?
Which is totally fine, but has nothing to do with protecting the ad blockers. So he penned his gay thoughts for now and got back to work fighting for the ad block software everywhere. The next day, Biggie went outside early in the morning, only to discover that another ad blocker had invaded his life again. This time, he knew it was coming, since he couldn't figure out a way past it.
Even though he had been waiting impatiently for the site to appear in the corner. I need Bigfoot to get out of the fucking computer. I need him to go pick a fist fight with some vampires. I'm gonna keep reading this. No, he can read whatever it says there. I'm not gonna prejudge what it says. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. Okay. Molten Amber suggests that Christopher Walken might show up, which is not a bad idea. Okay. Even though he had been waiting impatiently for the sight to appear in the corner of his screen once again. You can use the whole screen, buddy. It surprised him when it actually began playing right away. Bigfoot has a whole thing with his internet. As usual, it displayed images of extremely well-endowed young males performing various acts upon each other. Acts of kindness. Then Bigfoot got so we went to the vampire bar to kick some ass.
I mean, look at this shit. Who are they trying to sell this stuff to? Do we really need that crap? Fucking pussies! Right after the vampire entered the store, the door opened wide. Let me tell you, my friend, today ain't your lucky day. Two guys came together, followed closely by three more behind them. One of the newcomers looked familiar, but then again, everyone looks like someone else with sunglasses on.
I got it from here. While walking around the shop, I realized I know two of those guys. I think one of them is named Patrick. Paul? Hey, asshole! You're gonna pay for dissing me. One of the strangers seemed pretty friendly and started talking to the vampires. Are you looking for something specific? Biggie shook his head. No. Oh, come on, man. Don't be shy. We've got awesome stuff here. That wasn't what Biggie was interested in. I'm gonna check the
Biggie was
chat.
interested in kicking vampire ass.
Sounds good.
Since none of them paid attention to him, he started to Since none of them paid attention to him, he decided to start flirting with one of the girls. She smiled and laughed whenever he said... I'm gonna start from the beginning. Biggie was interested in kicking vampire ass. Since none of them paid attention to him, he decided to start flirting with one of the girls. She smiled and laughed at whatever he said and even winked at him. This annoyed the hell out of her boyfriend, who told Biggie to leave.
So Chad, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of like... Helvin and I have been talking about doing creepy stuff for like a year and a half. Practically since we've met. And we haven't found a way to do it. No one puts
really
Biggie
have a
in the
lot of
corner.
time to plan this, but you know what? That's just how it works.
Not even Vamps. No matter how hard the guy threw punches at him, he kept dodging. When a fist grazes against Biggie's face, he doesn't care about losing teeth. Rather, he just wants to break bones and rip at flesh.
When the last of the fighters left the room, Biggie finally managed to catch the eye of one of the girl's boyfriends. Well, she isn't exactly his girlfriend anymore, and most she thought he liked her.
What? a lot of your spirit story is it, but now wasn't the time to deal with XYZ. We got to get back to the... This reads a lot like that Two Brothers thing in Rick and Morty, you know? But let's get back to the brothers because they have a strong bond.
There you go. I'm trying
But
to keep
now
it
wasn't the time
It really
for
wants
getting
Bigfoot to have
laid.
sex with everything.
It's a spirit, buddy. Bigfoot had hundreds of vamps to battle. He waited until they finished eating before leaving the restaurant. The place was packed with customers despite the fact that lunch hour hadn't ended yet. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. People crammed themselves onto both sides of the tables, forcing the waitresses to move between them while serving food. Give me the next line. There's gotta be something good here. Then he ambushed them in the parking lot. Then Biggie ambushed them in the parking lot. One of the servers screamed when she saw a huge creature emerge from nowhere. "Get off me!" she yelled. "What are you?" Those words triggered memories of the first attack. A white flash, pain shooting through her body, and blood splattering across the car hood.
She had seen Bigfoot before he attacked her, so she was able to understand everything that had happened to her afterwards. That was also the moment she recognized the monster as an actual living being. At the same time, she understood that Bigfoot was too big to kill easily because he could have torn her throat.
wonder where this is
open
going.
without much effort. Even if he didn't manage to get in her mouth, the wounds would take you forever to heal, since they'd be deep enough to cut muscles and nerves. In addition, his claws would make sure that she wouldn't survive such injuries.
We gotta talk about firing the third member of the show.
Okay, chat. What do you want? Ask the horny demon.
The horny demon.
This is supposed to be Halloween, but it's Valentine's Day demon, I think. We got like... look, he fell off a truck. But we'll take your suggestions.
And I'm not saying we can be influenced, but we can be influenced. Bistro wants Freddy Fazbear in there. Dice wants the Spanish Inquisition. 50 Shades of Biggie. Am I reading from here?
Hold on. Let the demon figure out how to spell words.
The demon is...
Where are they? The demon's trying to figure out where they are.
Wasn't he throwing someone over a hood of a car? They're in a parking lot of a Walmart next to an Applebee's outside the woods where he fought the vampires. We can have the spirit talk to different AI prompt generators too. Another thing.
The characters. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Demon, go.
That was when things got whack as hell. Freddy Fazbear entered the Walmart parking lot. And he had deadly business to settle with Biggie in the server. Freddy swung his axe. It hit the server and sent her flying. But he turned towards the giant bear, who charged at him at full force. Both combatants met their fate under the blade. Bigfoot fell to the ground with a scream, causing all nearby cars to veer away from him. His limbs were completely severed. Blood spurted out his neck and chest. For a few seconds, the bear remained still. However, soon his movements ceased entirely. All that remained was a bloody fur covering up a lifeless corpse.
Damn.
I didn't see it going this way.
A crowd gathered around the scene. Several people asked what happened. Others simply gawked. Some even dialed 911, which caused even more commotion among onlookers. By the time the cops arrived, the crowd dispersed. No one wanted to stay around. Everyone knew there was nothing anyone could do for that poor beast. But who knows if it's true or not? Maybe something can be done for him. After all, it's always possible that this is only part of the story.
All right, go to the gear up top, Spirit. I may have set the random a little too high. Ooh. Ooh. You can change certain things.
What?
Let's see if there's context you can delete.
What?
Try going to the one that just says story.
Okay.
Oh, do you see anything that says go to AI Spirit? Oh, you can see, look, AI module. You can change the modules too. So the AI Spirit is configured to I think it's supposed to change like thought processes every few minutes. Try any one of those. Chat, did any one of those mean anything? Lunamod?
Medium randomness was the decent amount of creative writing. That sounds like a good one.
Emperor Moth. We're now speaking to the... Try changing the theme. You can change the theme too. Oh wow, you could do any of these. These are pointless. Children's fiction.
Gaming, horror. Yeah, we'll just stick with horror. I think.
Horror is fine. Molten Amber says Ouija boards have gotten complicated.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, chat. Where does it go from here? Oh,
Yeah,
Kelvin
where does it
already
go from
knows.
here? We'll keep smarting him up, and we'll keep smarting up the demon until he gets off this like infected porn dick thing, whatever.
The demon is a depraved monster.
Kill on verbal drink. Okay.
Ooh. Then Bigfoot noticed burble drink. Watching him with his stupid face. All right. Can I read from here?
Yeah.
Then Bigfoot noticed Burble drank, watching him with his stupid face. So Bigfoot decided to end Burble once and for all. The undead bear stood over Burble and prepared to pounce on him. However, Burble quickly raised his arms above his head and tried to escape. He couldn't run far, though, because he had been dead for several days. He had already lost most of his strength. Oh, Burble.
Bigfoot's claws ripped through the zombie's back, cutting through his spine. Burble collapsed onto the pavement, twitching violently. He never stopped moving. Every time... he never stopped moving. Every time he tried to stand up, he toppled over again.
It took a long time for him to die, and when he did, he looked like a pile of garbage covered by some random person's jacket. His face had been ripped off. Only his eyes and teeth remained. Burble, I'm sorry.
The cops took Burble away, but they didn't take Bigfoot. Instead, they took a statement from the woman who found him laying on the ground. She explained that Bigfoot came to the parking lot to get revenge for the death of his family.
Oh, the story's picking up. This guy's a lot smarter. My husband, my daughter, and I, she said. We're all gone now when she fades out of existence? There was a silence after she finished speaking. The cops didn't know what to say. Finally, one of them spoke up. Did you see anything else? Like what? Anything strange, like someone wearing a mask? Woman thought about it for a second, and then she shook her head.
No one was wearing a mask. We saw the entire thing. Bigfoot was the only monster here. Thank you, ma'am. If you can think of anything else, please call us. After the cops left, the woman sat down on the curb and started crying. Her daughter was buried 3 months ago. They went to the cemetery together. Now she was alone. She had no idea why Bigfoot was looking for her.
Oh, she's secretly a vampire, right?
I wonder.
Is she a wait. Little did Bigfoot know that she was running the sex websites that he liked going to.
It could be.
Oh, wait, so after the cops left? No, it's Bigfoot looking for... Trevor's thoughts raced as he watched the news report. Something about a giant killer whale attacking dozens of children in a school gymnasium. The video showed a bunch of kids cowering behind the bleachers as a massive animal approached them. I like the shadow of the orca whale. The kid reporter at the scene described the attacker as a gigantic black and white creature with razor-sharp teeth. Its breath smelled like rotten meat. Trevor was glad he wasn't the only one thinking about this right now.
Okay, chat, what do you want the demon to conjure?
Is Bigfoot on the case? Does this lead back to the daughter?
What's this little magic wand thing? I'm not gonna click it. Probably does something. I mean, I'm not gonna touch this rune on my haunted slate. Conjure crack. Okay.
A giant crack in the earth. Oh, golly. I just realized I have to read this part.
Yep, this one's for you, Brian.
He is looking at you, Brian. But before the whale continued its rampage, it smoked a crack rock the size of a basketball. Trevor watched the clouds of smoke rise into the air. The whale was laughing as it did so. The camera then switched to another angle showing the whale smoking the weed. When the news ended, Trevor closed his laptop and sighed. Oh, yeah, and then delete the part where it says when the news ended. Go, Spirit.
Suddenly, the whale exhaled a huge cloud of toxic gas. The kids began coughing and choking. Their eyes watered. Many of them fainted. Those who survived ran out of the gymnasium screaming.
Six Crazy Cats says Chris Chan. Here's what's gonna happen. If Chris Chan makes a suggestion, we'll take it. Chris knows who I am and how to get a hold of me. Chris has probably seen this icon appear. Chris, if you have a suggestion, you are more than welcome to make one. You will get priority. Everyone else, we're gonna read your stuff now because you're who's here. Where'd we leave off?
Trevor.
Trevor immediately pulled out his phone and texted Megan. The fuck are these I hate when the author does this. She was getting ready for work. She was busy getting ready for work. But he needed to tell her about this right away. She was the only person he trusted. Megan replied almost instantly. Did he find the crack ball? The crack ball?
I don't know if I can understand this. She had been talking about the weed he'd brought home. She'd been talking about the hardcore crack cocaine he'd brought home last night. Yes, it's right here. I'll send you the picture. He sent the photo to her. It was blurry because he hadn't gotten close enough to take a good shot. I'm coming over. Don't let anyone inside you hear me. This shit is deadly. Megan's reply was immediate. What are you going to do? I don't know yet.
I don't know yet. Be careful, Trevor. I will. Be safe. As soon as Trevor ended the text conversation, he grabbed his backpack and headed towards Megan's house. He had an important decision to make.
Okay, chat, now.
Hey, Garg.
Pick one, Brian.
Cat. Oh, do I get to pick what they're saying?
Pick a chat.
Everyone wants a gun. I think Slender Man appears with a gun. At the doorstep, Slender Man stands with his hand shaking and a loaded pistol in his hand. A 9mm guac. A 9mm guac. I apologize, everyone.
9mm guac? Yum.
I got
a lot of guac, but I'll take it.
I gotta tell you a guac story later.
At the doorstep, Slender Man stands with his clammy hand, shaking with a 9mm Glock rattling in his hands. He'd been watching this trailer park for weeks. He's seen the couple fight many times, but tonight is different. Tonight, they've been arguing since they got home. They've been fighting for hours.
Tonight, their arguments have escalated. The wife has even called the police twice. Both times they were told there was nothing wrong and that everything was fine. But Slender Man knows better. This evening, he can smell something cooking. We should really check.
The wife walks into the kitchen and takes a plate of steaming food from the oven. She turns around and looks at her husband sitting on the couch. He doesn't look happy. Slender Man steps closer to the front door.
Okay, when you have a minute, we might have to increase the memory of this thing so it doesn't think 3 paragraphs behind it forward.
Can we do that? I don't know how this works.
I don't know. Go back to the gear and we can see.
We have the dumb one.
Let's see. Well, it's dumb on purpose, but like keep going down. Yes, memory. Oh, you could actually tell it like memory, Slender Man, and I think there's other stuff. Crack rocks, killer whales, and gymnasium. Walmart parking. Real tournament. Let's see if that makes a difference. All right. The wife walks into the kitchen and takes a plate of steaming food. So Slenderman steps closer. Where are we going? The husband asks. Don't worry about it, the wife replies. Just come along. The husband sighs and follows her out of the trailer. Slenderman enters the living room. You should eat, the wife says. It smells really good. I don't want any, the husband replies. Why would I want to eat anything that comes from your filthy mouth? The wife's face reddens. She places the plate of food on the table. She tells him, I won't feed you again until you do. The husband grabs a fork and knife and sits down at the table.
Slender Man watches the man eating the meal. The wife leaves the room.
He's
When she returns, she notices the man hasn't touched his food. Are you still hungry? She asks. Yes, the husband answers, very much so. The wife nods and heads back into the kitchen. A few minutes later, she brings the husband a plate of food. He eats slowly.
Straight to death. Oh, man. Slender Man remembers his dead friend, Purple. Purple loves seafood. His favorite was lobster. He ate all kinds of seafood. Whenever he came to visit, Slender Man always bring him fresh fish or crab legs. Burble would never leave without finishing every single morsel.
That was how Slender Man knew the man was going to die. He could sense it, and the night he sensed it again. Slender Man waits patiently. The husband finishes the food and pushes the plate aside. Thank you, he says. The wife smiles and goes back into the kitchen. The husband gets up and walks over to the window. He opens up and leans against the frame. What are you doing?
The wife asks. I just wanted some fresh air, the husband replies. It's cold outside, the wife says. Oh yeah, the husband says, I forgot.
The hell?
The wife shakes her head. She thinks about telling him to close the window, but decides not to. Instead, she goes back to the kitchen. She puts the dishes in the sink and starts washing them.
Really loves this couple.
It really? Go back up. Just change writers. We'll try someone else. Just like make... Yeah, try someone different than Sigurd. Oh,
the newest one.
Do you want to try a new one? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, throw Slender Man in there, see what happens, Spirit. His lucky crack rock. My lucky crack rock. Oh, man.
There we go. That's how to spice it up a little bit, Demon.
Slender Man takes out his lucky crack rock and smokes it while cradling his gun on the front porch. You can see the couple arguing in the kitchen. The husband is pacing back and forth. The wife is yelling at him. Suddenly, the husband lunges at her. They begin flirting. Slender Man runs to the window. Is there a button that, like, did we not apply these settings or something?
The couple is wrestling on the floor. The husband is choking his wife. She's struggling to break free. Slender Man steps into the kitchen and aims his gun at the couple. The wife looks up. She sees him. What are you doing? She asks. Slender Man ignores her question and shoots her husband in the head. He collapses.
The wife screams. Why did you kill him? She asks. It's nothing personal, Slenderman explains. It's just business. Slenderman pulls a knife out of his pocket. What is your What are you doing? She cries. Relax, Slenderman says. It'll be quick. Slenderman slices her throat. Slenderman stands up and stares down at the corpses. I'm sorry, he whispers. Go ahead,
he takes a few steps back and exits the trailer. Slender Man makes his way into the woods. Once inside the thick of the brush, he stops and leans against the tree.
I like how it took 3 different writers for the AI for the spirit to communicate with. There, Freddy Fazbear was waiting. He had a bone to pick with Slenderman since the 1992 Olympics. Freddy, Slenderman said, long time no see. Slenderman, Freddy said. You've come back to haunt me, haven't you? Yes, Slender Man replied. But not for the reason you think. Well, then why did you kill those people? Freddy asks. They were bad people. Slender Man explained. I needed to do it. Why? To get rid of them, Slender Man replied. You're crazy, Freddy said. How could killing people make them disappear? I don't think it's gonna get off this subject. Oh, we're gonna have to like communicate with the spirits above. This is pretty brutal.
Man, AI's the future. I don't know what you're talking about. Then Freddy got mad and started swinging wildly at Slender Man. What the hell is wrong with you? He yelled. You killed my family. Slender Man blocked Freddy's blows easily. He didn't even move from his spot. Oh, it's thinking on this one.
The spirits are talking to the other realm.
The spirits are conjuring the souls of dead poets and writers to give us this amazing tale.
This is a custom build of Temple OS.
Really taking a while to summon.
Go check the spirit gears.
The gears of fate are turning.
Okay, look, there's different options on this one. So it says carefree. A good all-rounder.
The spirit is in timeout.
Look, it'll, you can do all sorts of different ones. Extremely immense. Asper? I wonder where that comes from. Like he says, writing's hard, you guys. This is an enormous waste of time, authors.
There we go.
At least it got away from the porn sites. That's.
I liked how the first one, and then he put a pee in his mouth.
Yeah, look, Freddy, Slender Man said calmly. I know you're upset, but you gotta calm down, okay? No, Freddy snapped. No, you're crazy. Slenderman says, Burble Drank forgives you, Freddy. Freddy Fazbear stood there staring at Slenderman. Then after a moment, Freddy suddenly smiled. You know what? He said. You're right, Slenderman. I am, Slenderman replied. Yes, Freddy continued. I'm going to forgive you. And then Freddy pulled out a gun and shot Slenderman in the chest.
Whoa! Slenderman fell to the ground. And that's how we punish bad men, Freddy said. Trevor, I found him in the woods, Megan said. We have to dispose of him, Trevor said. Hey, they're back.
Whoa! Hey! Whoa! I already did that.
You got it.
Megan replied. All right, let's get home, Trevor said. Before he got too far, he felt the hand reach. A lot of just, and then suddenly this happened. He felt the hand reach out and grab his leg. Stop, Megan yelled. With a comma. What is it? That thing, Megan said. It's still alive. Trevor looked down at the ground. There, Burble Drank had reappeared. His chest was bleeding profusely. Whew! Please help me, he pleaded. You got it from here.
How the fuck are you alive? Trevor asked. I've been dead for years, Burble replied. What? Don't listen to him, Megan. It's not true. I need your help, Burble said. Why should I help you? Trevor questioned. Because, Burble began, if I die, something bad will happen. Like what?
What? Yeah. I don't know, Burble explained. Why should we trust you? Because, Megan interrupted. I know him. What do you mean? Remember when I said I met a man who lived in the woods? Megan asked. Yes. Well, Megan explained, that was him. Get rid of the who is he. This is gonna. Did I mention previously in a scene 2 seconds ago? Well, Megan explained. That was him. Burble drank. My old student at the academy. At the Acme.
Fuck, I forget it. I don't use academy every day. Why don't you use the spell check if it don't work? It just tells you the word spelled wrong. It doesn't help you correct.
Just do it. Yeah. ACADEMY.
ACADEMY. Okay. You know what?
I don't know if that's right.
No, it's
try it.
It's something. I capitalized it. It helps.
Yeah, that'll.
Well, Megan explained, that was him. Burble drank, my old student at the academy. But I thought you said he was dead. I lied. Why would you lie? Trevor asked. I didn't want to scare you, Megan admitted. So why tell me now?
So much dialogue.
That's how books work.
Because
I think he's telling the truth. Megan explained. Go ahead.
Trevor stared at her. What do you mean? He says he's going to bring death to the ones who abandoned him. Megan explained. Are they talking about the cops now? Or
no,
who abandoned
Burble
him?
drank.
Megan did Bigfoot then. Megan did Bigfoot then. Megan, I told you don't start this bullshit. He says he needs my help. Megan continued. No, this is fine. This is fine.
Oops.
Yeah, we need fighting.
Oh, that was good.
Wolfie's right. I'm not sure. What? Oh, what kind of help does he need? Trevor inquired. I'm not sure, Megan answered, but it has something to do with drugs. He's a drug dealer? The Chaos Crack Rocks. That's a good idea. Then Bigfoot found the Chaos Crack Rocks and went super Bigfoot and started cleaning fucking house. Not anymore, Megan said. He gave all that up when he found out about my boyfriend. Go ahead. You got this. What?
No.
Are we starting? The spirits are really hard to deal with. We may need to just start a new story at some point. I don't.
There we go. This'll do.
All right, read it to me,
Then
please.
Bigfoot found the Chaos Crack Rocks and went super Bigfoot and started cleaning fucking house. He then teleported behind Megan and ripped her head off, slamming it on the ground like an apple. No! Trevor cries as Megan's giblets spray all over his face. There was a crack rock. There was a crack rock where there was drugs. There was a Bigfoot. Trevor says in a stupor while witnessing his wife be brutally murdered before his very eyes.
All right, tag in. I've done nothing wrong. This is it. This is how my life ends, crying while being slowly impaled by the claws of a werewolf man-bear hybrid as it muzzle tears into my flesh like paper mache.
Not even giving the readers a clear look into my character. They won't even know what I'm feeling, just that I'm screaming. It's my own fault. I'll put so many commas in an incorrect place that every after will read like it's being spoken by a hyperactive child in the middle of a sugar rush on his third juice box. But no matter what you're going through right now, I want you to know it's not as bad as the night we spent beneath the bleachers of the school gymnasium fighting for our lives against the twisted bodies of our friend and a 300-pound overgrown wolf man.
As long as you're able to remember the good times, that's what matters. Not the violence, not the terror that we've endured today. I forgot what commas were. The only thing worth remembering is the friendship that we made here and the bonds that keep us together, even now as we run for our lives towards our final destination. In the back of the truck was my girl and a bag of money. Drive faster, I commanded my driver as he promptly obeyed as my Jeep became louder.
I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
The engine started to spit smoke before breaking out in flames, causing me to jump out. but I took a second to regain myself, then ran forward again, jumping into a bush where the werewolf had taken shelter.
But he had changed into the form of a human when I entered the house. Or maybe it was the reverse. I tried to picture the scene before me in my mind. Yeah, so did I. Jesus Christ. The shaggy brown hair disappearing into the gray clouds of his transformation, and the wolfman's glowing eyes meeting mine. Now is the perfect time for Bigfoot to appear. This reminds me of the Rick and Morty Story Train episode, like where it just veers into horrible. Maybe that's how they wrote it. Even though I'm sitting on this log very clearly, I'm gonna make the sound of a Diet Pepsi getting opened. Hang on.
Get your Diet Pepsi. Suddenly, Bigfoot walked out of the gray clouds and he looks pissed. He yells, "What are you doing in here?" Bigfoot has this huge brown coat covered in blood.
So
his claws are
Bigfoot
long and sharp, and his fur looks like it hasn't been brushed in weeks.
Headphones that I'm not plugged in.
He walks towards me and I turn and run. But Bigfoot catches up with me and grabs me by the arm, then throws me to the ground. Bigfoot proceeds to kick the shit out of me. It is painful. I've never been beaten so badly in my life. Bigfoot kicks and punches and chokes me. He breaks bones in my body and shatters my jaw. I eventually die from my injuries.
After that, I wake up in a hospital bed. This story doesn't want to end. Bigfoot had used a tranquilizer on me before dumping my dead body in a back alley in a dumpster. I was revived with electric shock. We can do a different story, you know. We can do a different story. Do you wanna try like a spin-off? Then Bigfoot caught a mega virus and killed the entire world with his disease. His name was Brian May. Also, it turns out he's a werewolf too. Who knew? Lynching him after all, this was too easy a fate. Being a fictional creation helped. He fell straight to the floor and cried, "No fair! No fair! It's my turn to hurt you! Please no!" He then just stopped moving entirely, like dead. I watched the blood pool around him and wondered how much more of this shit was gonna happen.
I like this writer.
How could I help?
There isn't much you can do, really. People just seem to go and give up sometimes. Then they come back a few hours later as though nothing ever happened. Like nothing matters. This thing, it has got to stop. It cannot go on like this forever. I mean, maybe if someone were to start it from scratch, but who knows who or even why someone would want to do that anyways.
Okay. I'm gonna suggest this might either be a good break point,
but then
stop
things started
point,
from scratch. The whole murder spree started again. So what am I supposed to do now? There's once someone who said, "He who drinks wine will lose his fangs. He who eats pork will lose his hair. He who sleeps with a cat will catch fleas. If you walk past the corpse of a jaguar at night, your manhood will become hard. If you eat a crocodile heart, you will lose your mind.
If you swallow the scorpion stinger, the scorpion will still be able to sting. If you touch the turtle shell, you will smell foul. The dog bone heals the hand. Take the eye and the toe." Oh, the dog bone heals the hand, the eye, and the toe. The skin on the frog's leg is smooth like silk cloth. The goat's thigh, like I always say, the goat's thigh becomes soft when boiled in water. The young pig eats the strawberry and grows fat. What is that? The
Carousel.
The carousel cub loves the meat of an elephant.
The crocodile eats a leopard, the dog, the crocodile, the vulture, and the python. But he also said, never enter a forest if you do not know its name.
We should make t-shirts that say all these.
Never walk through a village if you do not know its name. Never go down a hill if you do not know its face. And there is really one rule, a trick actually. When in the woods, don't look for
the
trees.
That way the trees, they can find you, and then they'll kill you. There's a man named Johnny. He was also a cat. A man named John, not John, a John named John. So, therefore, and how I came to name people in the forest, not the same, not the real, and how I came to know the animal, God, kitty, name tag, the giant talking Pepsi can from the North Pole.
They both came to the campground after their family was lost on a fishing trip. Well, actually, Johnny, he was also a hamster, did not come. I suppose since John and Johnny are similar, they could be related, but this does not explain why I knew this. A different John. Well, actually, maybe it was Johnny. He was also a chipmunk. That came, but he wasn't supposed to be there. Just as much as I wasn't supposed to be there.
Spirit! We got another spirit here. This spirit's got the gift of gab. Oh man, says Rick, there's such a disappointing game. Is there really no hope of beating the other team? We played so well. I know we lost, but the score was so close. Can't we play a better match? We played all week. All week I suffered the lynching from you guys. This is how I really feel from Tunes Talking. Over and over and over. How am I supposed to win against the best team in the league?
Don't worry, I assure him. We're going to win, and we will do it by lynching you first, before anyone else in this neighborhood. Oh, man, Rick says, as he backs away from me, scared to death. He runs away, but I catch up. I grab him from behind and hold on to him. He struggles a bit, but not enough to escape. He's not very strong. Please stop, he pleads, but I ignore his protests.
Bigfoot's back. I start dragging him by his ponytail towards the woods while everyone else watches in silence. Once inside, I hit him over the head. I knock him unconscious. I dump him on the ground. Oh. Chat, how you doing tonight? You think another story now, or do you think we're gonna have to see where this ends? Because we've transcended time, space, and meaning. I hear a rustling in the bushes. Bigfoot and Freddy Fazbear walk out, and they're super pissed.
They grab a hold of their clubs and start swinging at me. Bigfoot gets a lucky shot. His club strikes my head, and I fall over into the woods. Everything goes black. When I come to, Rick is gone. I can still hear the voices, so I start searching. I stumble across an old cabin. Inside, there's an old lady sitting at a table.
No more, Helmet. I'm calling it.
She looks like she's seen
He's
better
just gonna
days.
Keep going.
Her eyes are closed and she appears to be sleeping.
Oh.
I wonder if I'm dreaming this whole thing. I look around the
Lily
cabin
Lulu
and see
says,
the set
"Can
of
we end this
stairs
one?"
leading upstairs.
Purple Drink says this story's giving me brain tumors.
I go up and find myself in the bedroom, lit only by candles. There's a double bed in the center of the room. It's made up of green sheets and blankets.
The ice server is having a meltdown, says Watcher in the Dark. Helmet, just tell the spirit, like, fucking refresh the spirit tab. Why are you so obsessed with this spirit?
Then a huge cloud of crack smoke fell over the town, and everyone got super torqued out. They started lynching each other, cutting each other up with chainsaws, and beating each other with baseball bats. Everyone's up in arms over this, and it's getting worse by the minute. Then an earthquake struck, and houses started falling all over the place. Cars flew through the air, and bodies lay strewn across the ground. They say a man walked out of the ocean. He was dressed in a green shirt and blue jeans. He was bald with green skin. His eyes glowed white. I am the Green Goblin, he declared. People went crazy, started punching, kicking, and biting each other. The ground shook, and the sky roared. Lightning struck everywhere, but it wasn't very scary. It was more like a fireworks show than anything. Then people ran back and forth, screaming and shouting at the top of their lungs. A new world terror was upon us.
In a crack field called the Wastelands near a Walmart parking lot, Freddy Fazbear found a box of baby alligators with crack rocks inside. So we took the alligators with crack rocks inside and left. The end.
The gang left too, but they left their bodies behind. Freddy Fazbear was dead, and the alligators and the boxes had cracks in their bloodstream. When they died, they went to heaven.
They went to heaven. I could just picture you typing. We can only stop when it says when they died, they went to heaven. Another horror story about drugs. Later, a demon werewolf named Bigfoot showed up and dragged Freddy's dead body, which was covered in blood, to the Walmart parking lot. At the Walmart parking lot, he mauled his body and ate him. Alright. Sugar Bits wants another story. Return of the mysterious and threatening man in sandals whose danger power has long been censored. Mustache Man says, is this a chapter in the Bible?
Yeah. They saw a man of mystery. The mystery became when they first laid their eyes upon him. They did not fully understand his origin. Not on the surface. He seemed normal at first glance, wearing a pair of shorts, a yellow shirt, sandals. Yet from beneath his feet oozed a red darkness that spread across the streets and building. A liquid shadow of bloodied souls.
Go to the settings and try someone else. We gotta okay, try someone not smart. Like just go for the go for like the earliest ones. Yeah, go to like a legacy model. Probably your terp. Go to your terp. Now go to like Genesis stable and logical. We need how does it know these things? Watcher says sounds like one of the Dracula Flow videos. This sounds like Ram Ranch almost, the way Hellbent's reading it. Try
Ace of Spades.
And if you want the Joker, I'll show you how to play. You click on enter, it's all the same to me. Don't forget the Joker. And don't forget the Joker. Oh, you won't?
No, it's just doing a new tale.
The two teens run down the street parking looking for him, but fail to find any trace of his presence. But that story was done. So now we move on now.
I can't think. So now we move on to what? What are we doing?
Okay, I would love to see. Does anyone remember the Flatwoods Monster or the Chupacabra or Gumby? Those are all good.
I like the crack.
No more crack. Okay.
The demon had other ideas.
But that's
okay. But if you want no more crack, I gotta like.
Oh yeah, take crack out of there. It just keeps coming back up. Just take all the memory out of it. It should actually remember this. Oh yeah.
And also, this is a violent drug fueled horse.
Okay, Molten Amber has asked 4 times for Christopher Walken.
Okay.
So we move on to. Yeah. Yep. Happy Halloween, Sister A. I hope everyone's having a good spooky chocolatey time.
Yum.
Right. Whose name is so appropriate for Halloween? Famous actor.
I gotta make sure because it'll be like, no, I don't know who he is.
And Christopher Walken's wings spread out. And Chat, do people trick or treat anymore? Does Christopher Walken deal with trick-or-treaters in this story?
I've seen some. They
Okay,
took the candy from the bowl like they ought to, and then they left. That was nice, very polite.
Elvin's house is this fortress of fucking security cameras.
Yeah, I put guns
But
on them.
that story was dumb. Yeah, it's kind of turret. So we move on to a spooky story about famous actor Christopher Walken. He was walking through a dark forest alone at night when he came across an abandoned cabin deep within the woods, or within the trees. Curious, he entered the cabin, but as soon as he stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind him.
A shadowy figure appeared in front of him. Who is there? Asked Christopher. I gotta do impersonation. I'm Christopher.
What was that?
Who's that?
What was that?
I don't know.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, shadowy figure. Who's there? Asked Christopher.
There was no reply. Christopher began to panic. What should he do? Who should he call? The police? No, he needed help. Christopher grabbed a nearby candle holder off the table. He held the candle aloft and tried to burn the shadow. However, the candle just melted, dripping wax onto the floor.
As Christopher stood there, wondering what to do next, he heard a low growl coming from outside. The growl grew louder until it became so loud that Christopher felt like it could reach right into his skull. It sounded hungry and angry. Suddenly, a huge beast named Hellbent continued the story. Go ahead, bud.
Burst through the window, sending glass flying everywhere. The creature was the size of a lion, but much larger. Its fur was jet black except for its mouth and face, which were bright orange.
Oh no! This is a hard day to be me. Its head looked like it had been ripped straight out of a comic book, and its teeth were as sharp as knives. It let out a terrible roar. Christopher backed away from the beast and turned to flee. He ran into another room where he hid under a desk. The beast pounded on the door, trying to break through. Finally, it just gave up and disappeared.
After some time had passed, Christopher emerged from the room. He peeked out of the doorway and saw that the monster was nowhere to be seen. Slowly, cautiously, he ventured further into the house. He went upstairs and found himself standing in a bedroom. In one corner, there was a large bed with a beautiful woman lying on it. She wore a white gown. Her hair was long and blonde, flowing over her shoulders. Her skin was pale and smooth, almost translucent.
She opened her eyes. They were blue and filled with hate. Where are you going? She said. Her voice was cold and menacing. Christopher walked closer. You're dead, he replied. Dead? She laughed. Not yet. Oh, what? Why not? Because I'm still here, she cried. What do you want? Christopher demanded. Your soul, she answered.
Christopher frowned. My soul? Yes, she replied. Give me your soul and I'll grant you eternal life. All this pain will be forgotten. You'll never die again. Christopher stared at the woman. He couldn't believe his ears. Was she really talking to him? Then he remembered something else, something important. Wait, he said. Don't tell me.
I didn't know you couldn't do a Christopher Walken. That's like the only thing he can't do.
I could probably figure it out in like 5 minutes. I just never had a reason to try.
The woman smiled.
Christopher Walken.
You're a little, you're closer. Yes, she said. I am Freddy Fazbear. Oh my God. He whispered. This is really fucked up. Freddy Fazbear is dead, and the alligators that were in the boxes had crack in their bloodstream.
No! The end. Chapter 7,
Chapter
Return of the Mysterious Threatening Man in Sandals who's been long censored.
This is some internet commenter asshole that died from
I removed all the
suicide
crack
by
stuff.
cop. Yeah, I know, and
It's like, nah, I remembered.
Look.
I love it.
I remember in season 1.
This demon's cool. I love him.
When the teenagers woke up the following morning, they realized that the mysterious stranger from last night was gone. Their dreams were just that, a dream. Everything was back to normal, except for the fact that they now knew how to use their powers. That knowledge made them both uncomfortable. What would happen if someone found out that they could turn invisible or become a ghost? Would people fear them? Nah, it wouldn't happen. people would be afraid of them because they're powerful and dangerous. All right.
However, even the kids are reluctant to learn more about their abilities. They eventually decided to continue exploring the powers. They returned to the same town and continued using the powers to wreak havoc among those who wronged them. For example, Trevor became invisible and sneaked into a school building. He waited by the front doors and watched as students poured through. One day, he saw a girl named Laura enter, and he followed her through the halls, watching as she took the stairs instead of the elevator.
Nothing good happens in the basement. Trevor wanted to make sure that she got to the basement. But before he could do anything, a security guard approached him. "Hey, you can't go down there," he shouted. Trevor didn't answer. Instead, he simply vanished. Laura turned around to see why the guard was yelling, then spotted Trevor sitting at the bottom of the staircase. Trevor's really got a vanity thing. Get it! Yeah. She screamed.
The security guard ran toward Trevor. As he did so, Trevor turned back into human form. When he did, the guard fell flat on his backside, screaming in pain. Then pulled out his Glock and shot Trevor in the face. Oh, clock. Oops. Anyways.
Now he groaned. He collapsed to the ground. Trevor, no, keep it. Trevor stood up and walked towards Laura. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah," she replied. "Good, now get out of here," Trevor ordered. Laura nodded and quickly left the scene. After she was gone, Trevor picked up the fallen clock and put it back in place.
Oh, good. He fixed my story.
Some dipshit idiot wrote that a clock was there.
He also made sure to pick up any blood or other evidence that might have been visible to others. Later, when the school bell rang, Trevor used his powers to transport himself onto the roof. There, he transformed back into human form and watched as hundreds of students head for class.
What the fuck is going on? But where was Christopher Walken in all this? So there's another thing we worked on called the AI Detective, and it's my fault that's not out. But it's like a series of facts about Bigfoot, and I wonder if we couldn't do a live version of that, because that was a lot of fun too.
I have many demons we can summon.
I want to see if we can get an AI demon to read fucking the Bigfoot. Remember, it was like Bigfoot could beat the shit out of a Dracula.
Oh yeah. No, we'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, where was Christopher and Freddy during all of this? Did they not know their friends were causing chaos across the world? They did, but rather than stop them, they decided to let them do what they pleased. They figured that the kids would eventually run out of energy. Eventually, they would tire themselves out, so it's what happened every time they tried to stop the kids. So why should things be any different this time? So far, they've only discovered a few ways to control their powers.
One way was to think of an object, such as a pencil, and focus on it. This allowed them to create whatever shape they imagined. For example, if Christopher thought about a square, he could transform into a block of wood. I have a special power. Come over here, babe. I'm a block of wood. Wait. However, since they could only do this once per hour, it wasn't very practical.
Another way was to visualize a specific location. If Christopher pictured a classroom, he'd find himself standing inside of one. A third way was to envision an action. If Christopher envisioned running forward, he'd start moving. However, since he could only move forward, he couldn't change direction or speed. All of these methods worked, but none of them were perfect. They still had plenty of room for improvement.
After they finished experimenting with their powers, the kids went to sleep. When they woke the next day, they learned that their powers had grown stronger. That's fucking useful, ain't it? What's more, they discovered a new ability, the ability to read minds. So they're... Can something different happen, story? Now, whenever they focused their attention on a person, they could hear everything that he or she was thinking. This discovery scared them. Why? Because they realized their power could allow them to easily locate their enemies. However, this is useless on Christopher Walken. No, we're wearing our traditional we're wearing our traditional nighttime spooky scary story suit jackets. Okay, here we go. However, this was useless on Christopher, who burst into the room launching roundhouse kicks at everyone. Freddy Fazbear. On the other hand, it was quite useful against the children. Whenever they heard a voice, they immediately knew who it belonged to. They could even tell if the person was lying or not. It wasn't long until the kids realized that their powers gave them the advantage over everyone else. In fact, the kids felt invincible. Nothing could touch them anymore because they had found the crack rock. Not teachers, not parents, nobody. Except the hit TV show Bluey.
Bluey was a popular cartoon series created by Fredbear and Bonnie. The characters are anthropomorphic animals that appeared in various settings, including restaurants, schools, hospitals, and malls. In addition to being the most popular cartoon ever produced, Bluey is also the most violent.
Quentin Tarantino joint. The show featured lots of gory deaths, which always involved knives and axes. They fight, they bite, they fight, they fight, they bite. To make matters worse, each episode ended with a cliffhanger. The viewer couldn't know whether Bluey lived or died. Mummy! This cliff's awful tall!
And because of this, the kids loved it. They eagerly tuned in every week to find out what happened next. Unfortunately, Bluey stopped airing months ago, and nobody had told the kids. How could they miss something like that?
As the days passed, the kids' abilities grew stronger and stronger, but not their ability to know when Bluey was on. Their telepathy became increasingly accurate. Soon they were able to read thoughts without trying. All they had to do was listen. And now that they knew how to track their enemies, they wasted no time in doing just that. First, they located Laura. She was hiding under her bed with a big crack rock.
They did not need to use their powers to do this. Instead, they simply called her name. She came crawling out from the streets. Where are you going? Trevor asked. I'm going to school, she replied. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Not today, you're not. Why not? Because I want to kill you. Trevor grabbed her arm. We're taking you somewhere safe. You'll stay there for as long as it takes to figure out a plan. Is that understood? Yes, she stammered. He dragged her off into the living room and placed her on the sofa. You can watch your favorite shows while you wait, he said. Then he took Laura's phone and locked it away so that she couldn't call anybody.
Afterward, he returned to the kitchen. He made some coffee and brought it to the living room. Once again, he sat down beside his wife. Do you want anything? He asked. Just a little bit of sugar, she answered. He poured her a cup. There's something wrong with me, Laura says. I keep hearing voices in my head. Also, Bluey's the same 2 episodes. What's happening to me? You've been possessed by a spirit, he explains, and it wants to kill you. That's all. Laura looked up at him, and her eyes widened.
No. That's why you wanted to hurt me, isn't it? She asked. To get rid of the spirits that's possessing me. No, he responded. I did it because you tried to attack me. Then why? Because you attacked me first. But I was protecting myself. It wasn't my fault. Don't be stupid. Of course it was your fault, dummy. We're the ones who got possessed, so we should be the ones getting punished, not you. But shut up. But hush. They stared at each other. Neither one dared to speak. After several minutes, Laura began sobbing uncontrollably. Her body shook violently as she cried.
Her husband remained silent throughout it all. Why would you do this to me? She demanded. Why would you try to murder me? I didn't want to, he said. Well, you succeeded anyway, didn't you? I only did it because you started it. How could you say that when I never attacked you first? That's right, you didn't have to start any of this. Oh, really? Tell that to my victims. They think otherwise. What about your friends? My friends? I don't have any friends. I mean, look around you. Who do you see? There's nobody here except us. And Christopher Walken.
Nobody but you. Exactly, because I don't have any friends. But I have plenty of enemies. I just haven't found them yet, so what do you expect me to do about it?
Elvin, I need to go to bed soon. It's getting cold out here in the forest we're in.
Then Christopher Walken came back into the room and killed Trevor with the eternal death stone. The rest of the kids ran over to where he lay dead on the floor. Mommy, they shouted. What is it, dear? Daddy's gone, they replied. What? Daddy's dead, they repeated. Their mother kneeled down beside him. Did he die? Yeah. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. I saw it happen. Were you watching closely? No, not at all. Maybe you weren't paying attention. No, I wasn't. I was too busy looking for monsters to kill.
I've talked to
what I
people
used
like
to always tell you guys when you were young, she said, what's that? Never make eye contact with strangers. How did you tell us that a million times before? Trevor remarked. He's dead. Doesn't matter.
Keep going.
Doesn't matter how many times I told you that. It still bears repeating every single day. But, Mommy, Daddy's dead.
Listen here, Mommy.
Yes, I know. Now go clean your room and play quietly until dinner time. I will deal with the situation. She walked away from the kids and headed towards the front door.
Mom's a firecracker.
There's no one left to argue with her, so it's like, hey.
Hey, wait a minute.
Where
How do I make?
You
Ouija board.
going? Question mark.
Question mark.
One of the
Chickabit says Gaslight Girl Boss. That's the name of the spinoff
children
of Gaslight Girl Boss.
asked her, go out for a walk? She answered, I need some fresh air, but we won't let you leave the house, another child added. I'll be fine, she insisted. Come on, Mommy, the youngest child pleaded. Please come with us. No, stay inside. Keep yourself safe.
A few weeks later, the children went outside to play in their yard. They played together as usual. Nothing unusual happened. Their father continued to ignore them, and their mother continued to ignore everything else.
Yay!
Chat, what do you guys think of this new format? We're thinking of doing these once a week, maybe, or some amount of time.
Then Burble Drink walked in and killed them all. The end. Trevor. In the beginning, there was darkness. For an eternity, nothing existed except that darkness. Nothing could exist without it. Nothing could exist without light. Nothing could survive unless it had energy. Yet the universe was filled with nothing more than dark emptiness. Then slowly, things began to form. First, a small sphere appeared in the void. The sphere contained a small amount of energy.
But then it puttered out, and the story came to a fast conclusion because the people reading it are tired. Anyway, that's all I got for now.
Read it like he says.
Wait. Oh. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Later, Gators. Christopher Walken. Wow, Mom, the girl exclaimed. Look what I found. Nothing, the story is over.
Go read something else. Laura looked across the living room at her daughter, who was standing next to a pile of books. Is that yours? She replied. Her daughter replied.
All right, chat, your mission is to tweet later Gators and hashtag Christopher Walken. See if we can make it to the front page of Twitter. What else is happening tonight? Happy Halloween is hashtagging. Come on, we can...
Then the universe ended in a microsecond, and there was eternal silence evermore. The next morning, Laura, good morning.
It's never gonna stop, dude. I don't know why you're chasing that dragon.
It was fun to try, though.
Yeah,
well, anyways,
we'll have to
we can come back and try to maybe summon a different demon, you know?
This demon's really on my nerves.
Yeah, he's all about this horny stuff, and then he flies off the handle, and then like characters die, but he forgets that they're dead. I'm frankly disappointed with him.
I could code a better demon.
Yeah, well, we'll come back with another demon, but this has
Christopher
been.
Walken and the Gators.
It had moments. It wasn't
Yeah.
all. It wasn't all bad. It
Yeah.
had some moments, but man, we gotta get a better.
No, this is. We're just gonna keep doing this till we polish it into something. I think.
There's no point in waiting when we have the
Yeah.
technology at our fingertips and
No,
the demon
no,
is right
we-
here. So
we
this will
have
continue whether you
multiple
like it or
spirits.
not.
Get ready for a weekly dose of Helbet and Brian's ghost loads.
Yeah, get ready for a heaping, steaming helping of ghost loads delivered right to your
Oh.
face.
It also helps that we're really tired.
Halloween is on a Tuesday.
And so is the day that we have to work double shifts.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yay!
Thanks for donating.
Chatting.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining
chatting.
me, Brian, and the ghostly, demonic, horny, dumb spirit.
Thank you, Sugar
And-
Bits. I'm glad it was great.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Sugar Bit, Sleepy Dog Zone, Brandon, Lucky 7, Ooh, Sister A, Do Flirth, Sleepy Dog Zone, Mustache Ham, and all you have a good night. We'll see you again soon. I'll probably boot up RoboCop in a bit, anyways. Although, I guess that won't mean anything to anybody who's just watching this. If you're just watching this, I'm not booting up RoboCop or walking home.
Yeah, we're walking home from the forest.
Yeah, you won't
Washington
see us
and
walking
Texas.
home, but trust us, we get up out of these logs and we just walk right away.
We get out of the log.
Mm-hmm. The story
Thanks for
goes away. Oh, the demon's going away. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Y'all have a good night and happy
Night.
Halloween.